It's the cloudy morning of September 13th, 2025. I'm headed to the Mainway Railroad crossing to film Via Rail trains taking detours on the CN Halton subdivision as opposed to their normal route of the Lakeshore West corridor, which is having some maintenance done. Just a couple minutes after I set up, Via 70 rounds the corner on its way to Toronto. Another few minutes later, CN A422 shows up from Welland with its GE motors howling as they pick up speed. A little while later, we see CN M394 with a duo of Tier 4 GEVOs. Unfortunately, 394 blocked a meet with the westbound, but it's okay, it's just GEVOs. As it starts to rain, CN M397 rolls through on its way to Chicago with an EMD on the point. Because it was a 2-hour wait for the next train, I would call it a day, or at least that's what I thought. Later that evening, I'm at milepost 44 on the Halton sub. I decided to catch 2 other VIA trains taking the Detour and the Amtrak Maple Leaf from New York. Just like earlier, I didn't have much time to set up before the first VIA showed up. This is VIA 76 on its way to Toronto with the Siemens Charger set. After 76 went by, I walked to the overpass of Dundas Street, knowing that there would be a CN eastbound on the way. This is a pretty good spot for eastbounds because you can see all the way down to the curve just before Mainway, which is about 1.5 miles away from the bridge. Eventually, CN 424 rounds the curve far off in the distance. The lead engine on 424 has a great sounding P5 horn and a nice engineer at the throttle. After 424 went by, I walked down to my original spot where I was joined by my friends Dylan and Riley. We were waiting for CN M302, which had CN 8101 and SD70 ACE, being a mid-train DPU. Before that, though, CN L570 would come through on its way to Aldershot with something interesting on the end. After 302, there were 2 westbounds coming, one of them being the detouring VIA 79, coming through in beautiful golden. After 302, there were 2 westbounds coming, one of them being the detouring VIA 79, which came through in great. CN only rosters 4 SD70 ACEs, which were formerly demonstrator units for EMD until CN purchased them in 2014. After 302, there were 2 westbounds coming, one of them being the detouring VS 79, which came through in some beautiful golden light. Not long after the VIA was CN Z149, carrying intermodal freight for Chicago. And the final train of the evening would be the Amtrak Maple Leaf on its way to Toronto Union Station. Thanks for watching. I'm currently working on a couple of more videos, so consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see them. See you in the next one. Bye.